Jeffrey Epstein's death in a New York prison was ruled a suicide, but a high-profile forensic pathologist has told 9 News authorities might not be right and that his injuries point to murder. The businessman was facing charges for child sex trafficking, the doctor believing Epstein may have become a target in jail. A warning, some of the content in this report may be disturbing.
From a life of luxury and glamorous parties to this, the federal prison where Jeffrey Epstein lived his last days. With permission from Epstein's brother, 9 News can show you inside his cell after his body was removed.
He felt very threatened in the prison. He thought that there were people there who were out to harm him.
The Manhattan businessman was facing sex trafficking charges for paying young girls to perform sex acts under the guise of massages. The New York City chief medical examiner ruled his death a suicide, but his younger brother Mark wasn't convinced, so hired top forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Barden to sit in on the autopsy. Dr. Barden has investigated a string of high-profile deaths, including the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the overdose of John Belushi, and was an expert witness for the O.J. Simpson trial.
Thus far, from the information available, it looks to me more likely a homicide than a suicide.
The reason for that, he says, is that Epstein had 3 fractures, one on each side of his larynx and a break on his hyoid bone.
I've examined over 1,000 suicides in the prisons of New York State, and none of them had 3 fractures.
The doctor also questions the makeshift noose found tied to the bunk beds in his cell.
It's a sheet, torn sheet, it's wide. It doesn't look like it to me as it matches the ligature mark in the neck.
Epstein mixed with powerful people, President Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, making his brother all the more determined to get some answers.
Mark is concerned that if Jeffrey was killed because he knew too much, that whoever did it may think that he knows too much and he might be at risk too.
It was 18 days before Jeffrey Epstein died that he was found lying on the floor of his cell semi-conscious with marks on his neck. His cellmate told guards he'd tried to kill himself, but days after recovering, Epstein told his lawyers his cellmate assaulted him, and video footage capturing the area outside the cell couldn't be recovered.
Were these videos not functioning because of carelessness, or were the wires cut? Was it intentional?
The only people with any chance of spotting someone enter Epstein's cell were the 2 guards on duty the night he died. They were meant to check on him every 30 minutes but didn't, and are now facing charges for lying on prison records. By the time Epstein was found, Barden estimates he'd been dead for up to 2 hours, but paramedics still took his body to hospital, appearing to continue treatment, wheeling him in.
The autopsy, in general, begins at the scene, at the crime scene. That crime scene was destroyed when the body was removed.
Does it bother you at all that your work and your findings all sort of relate to a man who had quite a dark past?
If you're rich or poor or good or evil or color or race or gender, we're blind to all that. I give the same opinion no matter whom I am working for.
In New York, Alexis Daish, 9 News.